I think we had a game plan to try to slow them down, and it didn't materialize. And then we go into the Texas State game, and first half they just played really well. We didn't have an answer for their offense, and we just decided to start pressing. And I think that was the turn the whole game around. We were able to kind of create some turnovers and some scores, and came back from 18. And I think last year would have been a tough thing to do. This year, with the experience that we've had from last year, I think it's paid off. And was real proud of the kids on how tough they played. Free throws again. I know Kevin's writing about it. We were 1 for 4 in the first half against Texas State, and then we were 23 for 23 the second half. So, I think our confidence level is real high on the free throws, and I think that helped us to win on the road. As most of our wins on the road have become because of free throws. But coming this week, Arkansas State was rolling pretty good. I think they ran into Little Rock this weekend, and it was their first or second loss of the conference. So they're pretty good. New coach. Different scheme. Played against him when he was at Central Arkansas. He plays a 1-3-1 zone that's pretty tough to break, and we're going to prepare for that. And then ULM on Saturday. Questions?
Just in terms of your team's confidence level, do you feel like at this point, since you guys have racked up a number of wins, that you guys have the confidence that if things go bad, you can deal with adversity better than maybe in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have gone any worse against Texas State the first half. I mean, we just did not have an answer. Even when we started to press, they were hitting threes, and I could see the kids were kind of nervous about that. But, they just kept on playing. So I think that's adversity, because of it. We had so much of it last year with injuries and all that, I think we've learned how to work through it, the struggles and all that. I'm just proud of the fact that we can do that, I think it's something that you have to go through to be able to get better at.
Is that something you have to say in the huddle or something that they really have in themselves?
Well, sometimes we have to say it a little bit louder. But whatever we say, I think we got real loud. Some of my assistants, we got real loud at halftime, and I think it woke up a couple of players. And just the day and age, that sometimes you got to push them a little bit harder. And I think that's what we did on Saturday. We tried it on Thursday. We just didn't have an answer for UTA. But yeah, I think too, and then being a part of a team that they feel that can win makes a difference. It builds up confidence and then wanting to play together. And I think it makes it easier to coach too.
What about the pressing? Does that come naturally for them? Do you have to squeeze that out?
We recruit those. When you're talking about small ball, you have to be able to press. And I think that we recruit those kids to do that. I just didn't think as a staff we worked on it enough. And today that's what our whole practice was predicated on pressing and making sure that we understand what the scheme's going to be about, and why we're trapping here, why we're not trapping there, what different presses are we going to use and stuff. So yeah, I think we recruit for those type of kids. They're built for that.
From an adjustment made standpoint, what happened in the third quarter Saturday that didn't happen the first?
I think because we made them play a little bit faster, they were really good in the half court. Every game that they've played in conference, they're 0-6 now, but every game they've played in conference, they led at half. Every game, all 6 games. And I think the biggest adjustment was really getting up and pressuring them in the full court. We didn't really press that much the first half. We tried a little bit of it in the second quarter. Wasn't very effective in what we were doing. We went to a zone press the second half, and that really trapping and all that got them, I think, playing a little bit faster, and I think it created some turnovers to really get our offense. I think we scored 29 the third quarter. That's a lot of points for us in a quarter.
So you got what you would call points, points off the press.
Definitely.
Were they getting worse shots repeatedly, consistently worse shots, or were they just not even getting off as many shots?
No, they were getting, like right when we started to press, and it's the 55, so you're not pressing man, and now you got to get back and find a man. And the first couple of possessions, we didn't find our man, and they hit some threes. When we started to find players, once we got back and once they broke the press, we had other people shooting. Not there. Those 2 twins that are really good were shooting a lot of threes the first half. They didn't get as many looks the second half, and the little point guard did. The little Kennedy did. She got more of them, and she's not as good a 3-point shooter. And we started to get. They started to miss. We started to get in possessions where we were making stops.
When
y'all were in the huddle down 15, 16, 18, whatever what was the look in the eye? What were you seeing in terms of how worried were they and how confident? What was their look in there? Or what sense did you get from them?
I think-
when they were down double figures?
I think at that point is when we really started to try to press in that zone, and I just felt that they felt that it was going to work, that it was going to give us the opportunity to come back and win, A lot of times they really like to press in what we call that 55. It's a 1-2-2. They like it when, our back's against the wall, and then we have no other option. Hey, it's going to be a win or lose thing. We're going to have to gamble on, and they're really aggressive, from freshmen on down. It's our DNA. It's my DNA. It's what I like. I love playing like that, and it's hard to find kids to play it for 40 minutes. I wish one day we could have everybody healthy enough to be able to do it and practice it every day so we could play it for 40 minutes.
You've run the road gauntlet now, and I think now you've got, 6 of the next 7 at home. Is there a fear that there might be almost a relaxation, saying we were really good on the road, so now, we're at home, we can ease through these?
Yes, it concerns me. You're coming back home and they feel more comfortable, which is supposed to be a good thing, but it also, as a coach, you're always concerned that they take some of these teams lightly too, and I think we did that a little bit last week against Texas State, being on the road and thinking that, it was going to be an easy win, and it wasn't. So this week, this is some very winnable games at home, but boy, it's always that concern of how we start. How do we, the week started off really good. We had a really good practice just now, and to me, I've always looked at how our practices go. So hopefully we can make sure that we get prepared and just see how it goes. I know for sure Arkansas State's going to be a tough game because of the type of defense he plays, and can we see some scoring? They really, really guard the guards. They're not really concerned about your inside game at all. They really look at trying to slow down your guards on the wings and stuff, and they overplay them, and so we'll just see how that goes. But yeah, I'm concerned. I'm always concerned about coming back home after being on the road that long. Most of the time when we go on the road that long, we lose. So you're coming back off of losses. Now you're coming back off of wins. So it may be a little different situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you feel like this team, just with the way that they not been to adversity, if it's, a lead being cut or being down 16 on the road, do you feel maybe a little bit more comfortable with this group that they won't necessarily get comfortable, like they understand what's ahead?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're a better team for sure than we were last year, but you still have that concern of they're still young, so the inconsistency. We always use that word. We're always scared of us being consistent. Can we be consistent? And that's what we're about ready to find out. I'll about to answer that question next week. I don't know how consistent we're really going to be. I feel that consistency comes from how you practice. I really believe that. I don't think we have gamers. I don't think we have any person that can take over a game on our team. It takes the complete team. So how do you get, as a coach, all these kids to be consistent? I think that's going to be the key. And I think we're more consistent than we've been last year for sure.
We talked about it earlier in the season, but you said that the team had chemistry off the court. They were just trying to find it on the court. Do you feel like they've found that chemistry on the court now?
Yes, I think we have a lot better chemistry, but we find it in different quarters. It's like, man, if we could put it all together. Like I thought for Troy, we that was the closest we came to being consistent the whole game. We weren't against Texas State, and we definitely weren't against UTA. So it's trying to find, to play a complete game the whole 4 quarters.
The zone that you mentioned that the new Arkansas State coach has, how often do y'all see that, worked against it, and what's your biggest concern against it?
Never. You never see it. It's a 1-3-1 zone where the girl in the middle actually guards. Like when you come off of screens, she's actually guarding a guard. They're like doubling up. You know how most zones will double up the post? They're actually doubling up on the guards. So he's making you beat him on the baseline and inside. And at McNeese, he was at Central Arkansas, we could not. We were so guard heavy, we didn't have any post that could score. It really worked hard. We got Ty Doucette and a couple of kids that can kind of score inside. This could be some big games for them, trying to make sure that we get some touches inside because they won't be doubling up inside. It's all, and it's a wide zone. It's really wide. It's pretty effective. I'm just anxious to see.
You haven't seen it once all year.
I haven't seen it in, let's see, he's been at Marshall I haven't seen it probably in 9 years. I've watched him do it. We're watching film. Matter of fact, I got a call from Coach Val. She thinks she has the answer to it, so a scheme to look at it. But you just got to be aggressive. He's forcing you to be aggressive on the baseline, and you just got to be aggressive. And then you got to make stops because they're shooting the ball really well too. So he's changed that. He's got the same players as last year. He's just changed that up a little bit, and they're 4-2 in conference, and they kind of rolling too.
So who's your best one or two pressing? Who's the most aggressive, energetic?
Well, if you watch Ty Doucette, if she's really up to it, man, on the ball, she's tough. It's hard for people to pass out of a trap. She's really good. Kimberly Burton's really good. It takes a complete effort. We worked on today, the back line is extremely important because you got to anticipate a lot of and that's where a lot of our steals come from, is from the back line of the zone. And we worked on that today because we saw on film that we missed some spots where we could have really made some steals, and we missed some spots where we gave some layups. You really don't want to press and give up layups, but, that's kind of part of pressing is you're going to have one or two, you're going to anticipate the wrong move or whatever, or fake can really kind of take you out of it. But we're just aggressive. We're just aggressive our nature is to be aggressive. Now, can you make a steal and score it? That's another thing. You don't want to make a steal and turn it back over. And I thought, man, we did a really good job of attacking the rim after we made steals and got fouled. So hopefully we can kind of continue that this week.
How close is Skyler Goodwin to getting to that level that you've been talking about for a couple of years?
Yeah, I tell you what, I always thought she was going to be the best player in the conference. I just felt, man, coming in, she just her skill level and her fun. There's a lot of fundamentals that we teach, and we didn't need to teach it to her. She came in with them already, and I was excited. Gamble, the girl at Arkansas State that carried them, she really wasn't a point guard, Gamble, but they put her at the point because she was more like a Jake Delhomme quarterback managing the team, and I always felt Skyler was going to be that person. And on Saturday, that's what we did. We used her at the point, and she doesn't like. I haven't had many players that tell me they don't want to play a position. She just doesn't like playing it. She feels she's more effective on the wings, and I disagree with her. Her freshman year was her best year here. She was averaging 15 points a game her freshman year, and then it's been down ever since we moved her. And then Saturday we move her back to the point, and she scores 20. And I know she doesn't play it the whole game, but she manages our team really, really well, and that's what I like about her.
You're going to go in and out with that the rest of
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers that I can keep on keeping her at that position. She doesn't like it. It's hard to play a player when they don't really buy in. But I think me and her dad are on the same page. We like her at the point. And I thought she did a really good job for her. Her and Andrea Canoyer did a really good job of changing. Actually, they both handled the point. I thought really good on Saturday. She's a real smart kid, and she plays by field too. So I went to the stats, and I just showed her, look, this is what you did since you've been playing the 3 guard. Or last year she played some 4 for us, and this is what you did when you play. And it's a big difference in scoring. It's a big difference in assists. It's a big difference for our team in turnovers. And just by trying to sat down as mature adults and just said, look, this is what we need. And I think she understands that fact that our team needs her to be able to not play it all the time, but by committee, and I think if we can play like that, I think we'll be a lot better team. I never thought about that. That's a great thing. It's like I'm not really that smart in that situation, but man, it might be. That's a great thing. Yeah, sometimes we could, it's just to try to figure out to make them feel comfortable. And I guess maybe she doesn't feel it. She's not a confident kid to begin with, and I never knew that coming in. her confidence level. She misses a shot. She kind of worries about it. You know, she's like a perfectionist, real smart and 4.0 student and all that kind of stuff. So I've had a lot of those kind of kids. It's just sometimes it's hard to convince them because they're so smart, a lot smarter than me, you know. But when it comes to basketball, I mean, I think I know my point guards, and I think she's an excellent point guard. She's an excellent manager of, you know, she's not that true point that just naturally does it, but she's so smart she can manage it. I don't know, man. It would be like, I try, I mean, I really try these days to try to figure out some of the things, and I just can't figure out why. I mean, I always just wanted to play. Put me in, coach, man, where you want me at. You know, right now, it's a comfort level. I think that's why she doesn't feel comfortable. And, you know, when you're not comfortable and you're not confident, that's not a good thing. And so when you put a kid in that position, they feel, I mean, to me, sometimes I see her make shots and she's still not comfortable. It's like, for me, I would be like, man, I'd shoot more, you know, and that's not her, you know. It has to be comfortable. She has to feel, and I think that's what it is, you know. So we got to try to find a way to make her feel comfortable. I think we have a better team on that we have better players on the wings now than when she was a freshman to be able to, you know, to run this thing, you know. It's not like last year we you know, every point guard struggled last year because of, you know, our wing players weren't ready, and now they are. We can score it. You know, we're second in the league in percentage field goals. You know, we can shoot it, you know, even though some days it doesn't look like it, but we're shooting the ball a lot better this year.